Boom. Hello, everyone. Starting very late. I am late and gay. I know. I'm gonna start the music in the background. Should probably start that sooner now that I think about it. What's up?
Late and gay too.
Yep. No, well, I mean, you're not really late and gay. I'm late and gay because we should have started much earlier. But I got off of work pretty late. Some things
No,
happened where I had to stay later.
no, but for me, I had to do something. Um, I don't want to mention it because
No, that's fine. You know, I mean, you got to tell people, me, like what you late. Like again, like I was late because I was coming home from work and I did a little bit of shopping, because I'm out of like my bubbly waters, so I didn't have any more Lacroix, so I bought some stuff. But other than that, like I was also late because again, work was pretty busy, and I wasn't supposed to work today, but I had to because reasons. Anyways, so today is gonna be a very interesting stream. I have a lot to say and talk about because we've had a lot of information come out recently, and like holy shit, the amount of information we've had come out in like the past few weeks about GTA 6, the Steam machine, and a few other topics that I'll be going over today. But I'm mainly gonna focus on GTA 6 since that's like the one I have the biggest problem with. I find the Bungie situation more funny than anything else. And the Steam machine, I actually don't have many negative things to say. I have actually more pushback, but sadly, I don't think I'll be able to get to the Steam machine conversation today. Mainly because the GTA segment is going to take probably the longest to talk about. And on top of that, since we're starting so late and I do have things I need to do tomorrow, I don't want to go to bed super late because I went to bed really late last night and I was like exhausted.
stayed
So,
up from yesterday.
Bruno, how long do I have you? How long are you gonna be good to talk?
Uh, I mean, I'm already done with everything, but
Okay.
um, but I might just do something quick. So
Okay, yeah, Bruno might
might
dip
be
out
off.
for a bit, but I'll keep the conversation going. But yeah, so today we're mainly gonna be talking about the GTA 6 situation. And before I actually go into like talking about it, I'm just gonna ask Bruno, how much do you actually actively know about the GTA 6 situation?
Uh, all I know is some of the prices, and I think that's about it.
Just the prices? Yeah. So I guess that's like a
It's
good.
funny because I had a coworker of mine who he's quite the gamer, but he was talking about that like just it just sounds stupid that 80 bucks for a regular, but for a premium that's an original for 100.
Here, I know
Yeah,
I had it somewhere. What the fuck is it? Oh, you know what? I might have it over here. Uh, God damn it! I had this like segregated, and then I'm off now. Like all confuddled because I don't remember where the fuck it is. Did I not separate that? Okay, you know what? Let's get through this. Because that is probably a good place to start out with. So I didn't. I could have sworn I had this up earlier, but I guess I must have lost it. Like I never actually saved it for my bookmarks. But yeah, so I guess that's a place that we can start out with. So the GTA 6 was finally confirmed for what its actual pricing was going to be. So we have the standard edition, which is going to be placed at 79.99, and then we have the ultimate edition, which is going to be placed at 99.99, which basically means 100, which basically means with tax, depending on what state you live in, you're probably going to be paying 83.59 and like 104 and some change. So that's kind of like the pricing, right? Everyone's been
Yes.
you've had separated camps, but most of the actual community of gamers have been upset with this pricing. If you are not a hardcore like Rockstar GTA fan, like I mean like this is the game you live on, this is the game you wake up every day to play, whatever, then
Or
actively this
somebody be saying, or people are just saying like, oh, something happened before GTA 6 come out or some shit like
yeah,
that.
if you're not active in the community, like this price is something you're looking at as like, what the fuck? I'm not paying that much. Like, there was a lot of people who immediately was like, even before the price was confirmed, people had already been saying, dude, if you charge like $100 for this game, I'm not buying it. And so, like, and I mean,
Well,
do you?
the reason why they, I thought is, but here's the thing: regardless if they increase the price, people are gonna buy it anyways.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you're like a hardcore, diehard fan for GTA, you are upset with this. If you're a fucking fanboy, or someone that was like following the hype, you're gonna you know what? Before I actually continue, I'm actually gonna go to this because I should have this saved. Where the fuck is it? Uh,
It seems like it's like a really big event since GTA 5 like
I
13 years
just
ago.
had this shit, dude. Like I had all this shit saved. I had actually rushed this because I didn't have this prepared last night because I went to bed. But Rockstar, no, that's not
Yeah.
it. I wish I did. Ah, God. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna continue talking about it because I had this shit. Like I said, I had this shit kind of repaired, but not really. I had to like do most of my stuff. I wanted to get home early, but a fucking work had to like make me stay later, so I couldn't finish up. I had to come in and rush
Yeah,
everything.
that's what happened with me. I had to do something important, but my supervisor wanted me to stay there and finish something.
Yeah, but no. So basically,
Even this fucking like, I barely made it. Barely made it to the place
I get you.
I had to go.
No, so basically,
But this fucking traffic. Holy shit, this fucking
mine
traffic.
wasn't traffic. It was more so weather and just the fact that like I had to fucking leave close to like 7:30 before I actually got a chance to get out. Anyways, so just going over the article from IGN. It says there was no word yet to the new version of GTA Online. We suggest the existing experience will continue to operate as GTA 6 launches in November. So that's already something you got to take into account, right? So GTA 6 is launching as a single player experience. They are not launching the online along with it. The online is rumored to be released months after the initial launch for the game. So that's so you shouldn't expect people to like because a lot of the fanboys are excited not just for not for the single player aspect, but mainly the online. Because like this is what I was talking to some people about earlier, and I think people have like a because people are trying to justify the price to me. They're just like, oh, $80 is fine, $100 is fine because you're gonna get so much out of the game and blah 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 blah, all this content. And I'm like, okay, I need to ask you a serious question. Do you actually participate in any of that content? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you play golf? And they're like, no. Do you play tennis? No. Do you enter the shops outside of going to the ammo shops and the clothing stores? They're like, no, not really. All right, all right. Do you actually do the racing sometimes? Do you do the heists sometimes? And I'm like, so I keep mentioning more and more of like the little like side shit you can do because like the Rockstar really felt the need to add all this stuff in. And on some level, yeah, it's pretty cool. But ultimately, I'm like, so you don't actually participate in about 80% of the content, which tells me you're either doing like running around and shooting guns or you're hitting up the strip clubs and changing your character and customizing, and that's about it, right? And they're like, well, yeah, I just like to fuck around and have fun. I'm like, that's great to have fun and fuck around and fun, but like, is that actively getting your money's worth? And some people would argue yes. And I'm like, that's good for you, but I'm not.
I mean, how long is the game gonna be?
Well, usually the actual single player mode has only like the actual time of playing it has only like increased. So I believe GT. You know what? Actually, let's go to this way. How long does it take to beat each GTA? So this will probably give you a nice breakdown. Uh, let's see right here. So Grand Theft Auto 1, the one that was released in 1997. If you're rushing the main story, it says about 10 to 12 hours. Completion, if you're doing all the side stuff, about 20 to 25. Grand Theft Auto 2, 7 to 10, 15 to 20, right? 3, you get about 15 to 18 hours of content for the main story, and then for completion, that means you're doing everything. You're unlocking all the weapons, you're doing all the side quests, you're getting all the clothes, yada yada yada. 40 to 50 hours. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, about the same amount of time length, 18 to 25 for the main story, and then 45 to 60 hours for the actual completions. We should probably be looking at just the main story since there is no one out there that's really a completionist for this shit. So San Andreas,
Yeah.
30 to 35 hour of content. I'm not counting Liberty Stories or any of the side shit because that's just like that's like PSP and PS Vita and all that shit. So where the fuck is it? Hey, Grand Theft Auto 4, 25 to 30 hours. So you actually have about a less playtime relatively from San Andreas to 4, but that's still
Yeah,
actively a
but
lot
it's
of game.
because they meant it's because GTA 4 is a lot more. The map is a lot more short, but that's because it meant to like have the
Yeah,
build.
because you spend most of your time in Liberty City and Grand Theft Auto 4, while in San Andreas you actually moved to 2 other maps.
No, you're an entire state.
In Grand Theft Auto 4?
No, in San Andreas.
Gotcha. But yeah, and then we move on to 5. 5 is about 30 to 32 hours. So again, every game has been relatively around that 25 to 30 hour mark for actual like completion of the main story. Not completing everything, just the main story. So, and then you can only assume that's probably going to be continue with Grand Theft Auto 6. So you can probably play Grand Theft Auto 6 and play about, 30, maybe 30, maybe they actually expand it sometime. However, I will say there's probably going to be a huge difference because we move on to the idea for the actual additions of the game. So, here we got the pricing and everything. And then as you go forward, damn it, no, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. So you're gonna have 2 different editions. You have the one that we were talking about being $80, and you have the one that's gonna be about $100. That's $80 purchase. This is the main standard edition, right? This shows you everything the actual standard edition is gonna be released with. So you have the actual digital standard version, which means the game that's as it is, and then you have the Vintage Vice City pre-order bonus if you pre-ordered the game, and then you have the free 1 month GTA subscription service. We're gonna get into that, but ultimately,
Subscription service.
we're gonna get into that. Trust me. So you come up with all this. We have all this like you see this big like X mark. That is all the content they cut out for the Ultimate Edition. So this includes like a bunch of like alteration skins, new cars, and like new tattoos. Like so, what they basically told us and what we found out is in game you're gonna have these shops. So like say like, there's gonna be like a tattoo parlor shop, right? Where it's gonna have like these premium tattoos. You can visibly see it, but that location is locked to you. You cannot enter it, you cannot go into it because that is part of the Ultimate Edition. It's gonna be in the actual map, but you can't access it unless you have the Ultimate Edition. So all these actual things, like the vehicles, the tattoo parlors, the clothing stores, and even like the extra side quests that you can actually do to unlock some of this stuff, that's all locked behind the $20 Ultimate Edition expansion. Now, I've already seen some people justify this. It's like, well, yeah, like that's the whole point of an Ultimate Edition is so this way there's content that you don't get access to. I'm like, no, that's not the point of an Ultimate Edition. Like, yes, there's the
It doesn't even change anything in terms of experience.
well, it's not just that. Yes, all that shit is mostly cosmetic aside from the side quest that allows you to unlock more cosmetics. But the difference is people have just kept making excuses for the fact that we have more and more companies, more and more studios putting in content and then removing it once ever the actual product is done and saying, here's the new paid content. Instead of what we used to do, when we were younger, especially when I was younger, where the content was already pre-placed in the game, and all you had to do was do a mission or find some secret like area or do a specific achievement to unlock said content. More and more for the past like decade, more. I want to say probably around like the 2010s, that when this shit really started to take off. Studios have been removing content that they purposely put in the game and put a paywall in front of it. This is no different. This content is already like gonna be visibly in the game, but you can't access it unless you pay money for it.
Hmm.
Because usually DLC and added content and all that stuff, that is already things that they're planning on adding into the game later. They have the actual coding for it, and they can implant it whenever they want, especially in specific areas. Like, again, great example, Elden Ring. I mean, I don't know, Dark Souls 3. I can always go to Dark Souls 3 for this. It's a whole new map they added in, but they had to add in a character to a specific location for this way you can be able to access that new area. And when you do, it is a whole new area. It's not attached to the actual world you're in. You have to access a whole new part of the game. And that's kind of like where I'm going with this. Like, again, back in my day, and not trying to sound like a super old gal or anything, but still, back in my day, all that content was already placed within the game. Even go over to St. Andreas, the infinite ammo unlock and all those other stuff, that stuff you actually took time and effort to learn and actually go about, like, getting access to in the game. Again, like,
Yeah,
you know,
and also you had to learn to take a flying school too.
exactly. But, and again, even going to something like Resident Evil 9, right? Like, you could
Or
have
hell,
either.
even like getting money for opening up a casino.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like I just beat Resident Evil 9 right on stream. So I either got to a chance to pay for the extra DLC, which came with costume packs for the game, or I bought the standard edition and I played the game and I just completed the achievements, which unlocked me different costume packs, weaponry, attachments, and all this other stuff. One is
Yeah.
content
So
that
how
was.
much did RE9 give you your money's worth?
Well, I would say yes and no. It really is relative to like, again, the money's worth argument is, and then some asshole talked about. I actually think it was the actual creator of Rockstar, like the actual CEO of Rockstar, that talked about this. And I've had this conversation with my roommate a lot too. It's the idea of like whether or not a game is good or bad is variation of how much time and also on the actual pricing can variation to the idea of like how much fun or how much time you're spending in the game. For instance, me and him both think Skyrim has an awful story mode. We both don't like a lot of elements in Skyrim. However, we both understand the fact that Skyrim is a game you can lose yourself in for hours. You can play Skyrim for 10 hours, you can play Skyrim for 50 hours, or you can play Skyrim for like 3 hours and stop playing, right? Like that's kind of how it is. It's relative to how much fun you actually are having, despite the game being having flaws and being bad. I personally don't think Skyrim is worth $60. However, he's made the argument, well, you've put in over 1,000 hours in Skyrim, right? I'm like, yeah. Well, then, because of the actual time frame you're in, despite you not having so much fun, you're still putting all this time into this game, so it's basically paid off its money worth by relative to how it is, right? And I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but that's not how I operate. I operate on just like I put in 1,000 hours because I'm trying to see myself to actively participate in this game to see if there's any content of it that I can actually enjoy and stem some actual like enjoyment from it. There are things I can like about Skyrim, but ultimately there are a lot more things I dislike about Skyrim. And that's where I go into the actual pricing argument. He goes in more
Yeah.
so.
You know what's funny is that I used to see Skyrim discounted heavily all the time.
Well, that's because Skyrim has had so many different editions. It's been out for like almost like 2 decades. Actually, I think it's been out for like 2 decades now. And it's been a game that's been so fucking so many times been reproduced out. The game came out for the 360 era, for the PlayStation 3 era, and now it's been on like put on PC. It's on Switch.
I remember before Booty became a huge lolcow. I remember Booty would always be fucking obsessive over Skyrim.
Well, again, the game you can lose yourself. Like I've lost myself more in Fallout 4 than I have in Skyrim, but again, I don't use time as a relative to like to again for that to be the argument, that means like a game like, for instance, like League of Legends. I've spent tons of time in League of Legends. By every metric, am I going to say that because I've spent like 1,000 hours in League, this makes League a good game and worth the actual? Let's say League was priced at like $60, right? Would that make League pricing like like justifiable? I'm like, no, of course not. And again, just because you can actually spend time in a game doesn't make it like this. This doesn't change the game's quality. Just because you can have with a bad game. One of the worst games I've ever played that I really enjoyed was a game called Jericho. This game was horrible. It had really bad bugs. The concept was very strange and abnormal. It literally like required you to switch between other people in real time action to utilize their abilities. So you had to learn what each character
Oh
could
yeah.
do, and the game had bugs and glitches. But I had so much fun with the mechanics, despite the game being a buggy, horrendous mess with a story that just didn't make any sense. Is that
You know
game
what's
worth
really
$60 then? Because I had fun with a bad game? No, that game is probably worth like $10 at most.
you know you know what was really bad?
Hmm.
Fucking Ballin' Wonderland.
I
You know that
was
one?
really excited to play that game because it was made by the same creator that made Knights, but I didn't get it because I heard it was like fucking like horrendously bad in terms of
Oh,
mechanics.
oh my God, Dula! I bought that game at a very heavily discounted price.
Oh my god.
I played it and I understand. I'm like, yeah, oh man, even if it's $10, it's not even worth it.
No, you see, again, I need to like find a good
I
justification.
even had to get rid of when I sold my PS4. I got rid of the game with it too.
But like, but that's what I'm talking about. Going into the idea of like purchasing a game at such a low cost, right? It's like, do you really want like? I'm not saying it's good or bad. The fact that you wait for a game to come out and then like wait for it to
Yeah,
go on sale, but at
no,
the same
no. For
time,
me, I'd say it's definitely not as bad as fucking what Superman 64 or was it
I actually never
was
played Superman 64, but that's a really old game that like we were still in the times of like really trying to use what we could to develop games. We have
no,
kind of more
but
locked that down.
but the devs have like plenty of time to fucking figure out and do something decent for big for the game. But
Oh yeah, but again, that's where a lot of the actual justification for these prices come from. It's not just about the fact that like these games are priced at this price because the actual like industry is like the inflation and everything. No, it's because literally these companies are justifying these increased prices because, well, we worked over 1,000 hours in developing this game and the graphics are so important to us, and we want to make sure the game
yeah,
looks so
that's
realistic.
not bad justification if it's bad.
Well, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, there was an interview with one of the developers talking about like I don't know if it was an interview, but it was like one of the developers said like, yeah, like you guys would be so excited. While you're in like the club or something, you can actually see condensation being built up on the glass you have that you're drinking, and everyone was like, whoa, you can't. I'm like, what the fuck do I care? But no, seriously, yeah, is it cool the fact that you can have condensation on your glass be like built up over time because it's cold? That's awesome. It does nothing for me in terms of anything of the actual gameplay. It doesn't improve the story. It doesn't improve the character. It's just awesome. Condensation's being built up. Again, I think we have been putting so much focus on graphics unnecessarily. And people are like, well, this is GTA. You want the game to look realistic? I'm like, dude, GTA like 4 still looks pretty good. GTA 5 and its graphics still look really good. And people are gonna lose the shit all the time playing that game. I don't need to have graphics to be so hyper realistic for me to like engage with it. And I get why this is like
Yeah,
a big
exactly.
argument for some people, but it's irrelevant to me in terms of like the pricing, because again, this is one of the justification people add. They say it's justified for us to actually price it at this because we spent all these hours to make sure this game looks hella good for you. I'm like, okay, but you didn't really need to. Like that was your choice to do that. And I'm not saying I'm displeased with that. I'm just saying couldn't you have put in more time to make sure the game runs as smoothly as humanly possible? Because that's another big issue. People like, oh, but Cyberpunk looks really really good. I'm like, it does, but the game ran like shit when it first came out.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because holy shit, I remember people were like fucking pissed off when Cyberpunk came out, how bad it was.
Well, yeah, right here, like Dumpster's even saying that, like, right, because we sacrifice gameplay for better graphics, and better graphics for that was less fun. Exactly, like we're willing to sacrifice fun. And again, this is why I've always said, like, look to. I know people are really displeased with Nintendo, especially with currently what they're doing with Powered and the lawsuits. But I always go back to
And
Nintendo's
also with the
model.
Switch 2 price increase.
Right, but again, like every console's price increasing. That's just not a Nintendo thing. That's an everything. So I'm upset with all companies. But what I'm saying is, look to Nintendo for how they actually use their blueprint for their games. Again, people are like, yeah, but it's got a cartoony style. I'm like, but Mario still looks good. You can't sit here and tell me Mario Odyssey doesn't look good. You can't sit here and tell me Zelda Tears of the Kingdom doesn't look good. It may have a cartoony style, but the game still looks polished and good and well designed. But they didn't have to sacrifice like so much time and effort to make the. You don't need to see every individual hair on Link's ass. Okay, you don't have to see every individual hair on Mario's mustache or anything like that. But the game still looks solid and stylized. That's what I'm saying. Is
Oh man.
like Until Dawn, like they put so much time and effort into that game making it look good, and a lot of the models actually move like horrendously bad across the map. Just because you made the model look good doesn't always mean the animation following it up was going to look good. And I'm not saying anything bad about GTA in that sense. GTA has always stayed well. Most of the time, GTA has stayed consistent with its animation and its frame rate. There are problems it has, especially when the line got introduced. But still, that's something I'm going to get into later. But again, I don't think graphics is a good selling point for where we put these prices in. So the next argument people
Yeah,
always give me is
tell us how it
content.
was back in the day.
Yeah. But like again, but like so like I'm saying, so we're justifying this by saying, yeah, let's take out all this stuff and put in the Ultimate Edition. So you have to actually play the Ultimate. You have to get the Ultimate Edition to get access to everything. And people are like, well, you can pay the Standard Edition now and then pay the $20 later if you want to unlock those. I'm like, that's cool. I really wish the content would have just be in the game regardless. I don't want to pay for it. But sure, it's cosmetics. You don't need to get cosmetics to play it. There are some secretive missions you can only get with the Ultimate Edition, but it still is only there to unlock more cosmetic stuff. Fine. Let's say that's fine. The both editions though also add in this little caveat: the free month game GTA Plus. So what is GTA Plus? GTA 6 pre-orders include an auto-renewing membership to something you might not actually want. So a while back, Rockstar and Take-Two introduced the GTA, no, the Rockstar subscription service, which essentially gives you access to not only like their remastered versions of the game, like GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, and
On
Bully
San
and stuff.
Andreas remastered ports.
Yeah, yeah, I don't like them. I didn't waste my time on even purchasing them, but I've seen people actually showcase them, and they look awful. Just like the typical shit when you see them remastered in old game.
Even if they fixed them all, it still looks awful.
Well, because all they did was just touch it up a bit. All they did was really port it over to the next gen consoles. They didn't actually increase the. They didn't like change up the graphics realistic at all. It looks horrible on modern day consoles, in 4K and in HD. It doesn't mesh well. I would have preferred it if they just put more time in just actually remastering one of the games rather
Yeah,
than like just
having like realistic looking graphics instead of like
well
something
like
that looks like something from RuneScape.
see, here's where graphics is kind of important to me, right? Even though I still like the actual designs and like everything from the older games, like if you're going to take one of the older games and port it over to the new gen consoles, at that point maybe you should take the time to actually update the graphics and change up some things and the models and stuff. Again, I look to Resident Evil 2 and then Resident Evil 2 remake. And I'm like, wow, that's such an improvement overall since the actual time. I think Resident Evil 2 still is solid on its own, but remake is really, really nice. And again, Dead Space is right there as well. And yes, those aren't remasters, but I think a nice update in graphics would have been fine for those games, even if it was something so minor. But so what this is you get a digital code when you actually pre-order and purchase these games, right? So the digital code, as soon as you use it with your card, you have to use your card to access the code. And when you do, you're locked into a automatic renewal service if you don't cancel after the first month. So if you forget, if you do this, and after you purchase the game and the auto renewal starts, you will get renewed whatever the pricing is for that subscription every month.
I'm sorry, but this sounds scummy to me.
It is scummy. It's 100% scummy. But again, people are justifying this by just saying, "We'll just cancel the renewal, fucking forehead." I'm like, yes, but why? Why do I need to be attached to a subscription service? It doesn't make any sense. We have never needed to do this prior.
Like a subscription service that doesn't even do anything.
It gives you in-game money. That's what it does.
But still, you can still get a shitload of money.
No, I agree, but that's realistically the. Actually, I'm looking up right now. So, what do you get for the GTA subscription? Okay, so right here. So there's Rockstar's official page. Okay, the premium membership for GTA Online players. Join the claim special GTA Online benefits, access to selection Rockstar game titles, much more, all parts. So this kind of gives you an idea. It says Grand Theft Auto 5 joins the GTA Plus games library. So like I said, you get access to the actual past games and present games if you join the subscription service. And on top of that, you get cash every month. So GTA 500K, the GTA money deposit automatically into the Maze Bank account on your GTA membership monthly billing pay. The membership only shark cards and bonus GTA money. Get special access to GTA shark cards and 50% bonus to GTA money. So these are the benefits you get for being in the subscription. Oh, and special discounts, yay!
But that doesn't make any sense because people buying GTA, like 95% of it will already have GTA 5. So
Right, but again, well, yes and no. Again, it's not just GTA 5. Let's say, for instance, you were only interested in getting the remastered versions of GTA 3, Vice City, and 4 at San Andreas, right? Well, maybe you might want to actually access GTA 5 and GTA 4 later on down the line. The subscription service allows you to do that.
there's no GTA 4. That's the problem. There's no GTA 4.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's all the subscription service. It's either the past games or the well, when I say past games, I don't mean like actually ported over. I'm not mean the actual versions from the 360 and everything. I mean like the remastered versions. Those are the only versions you can play. Are the remastered ones. And Bully, which I'm a big fan of Bully. I love Bully. They're never gonna make Bully 2. They're never gonna make Bully 2. They're not. Bully 1. Well, see, but here's the thing. Bully 1 didn't do a great job initially. It got people to play it after the fact. So it came out, it sold decently well, and then only after like more games started to come out, then more people become GTA fans and like Rockstar fans, and then they found out about a game called Bully, and then they started to play it. But ultimately, Bully is not a big cash cow for GTA for Rockstar. Like they were even hesitant with Red Dead, even though Red Dead 1 did gangbusters for them. They were initially hesitant for actually continuing the saga with Red Dead Redemption 2, but eventually they decided to because there was enough like talk with Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Revolver. So that's why like they took the leap with Red Dead 2 and it paid off for them in terms of sales initially because we all know that the actual online service like hurt Red Dead 2. They thought they could pull the same fucking shit they did with GTA 5 with Red Dead 2, but it didn't work because not only was the actual amount of content in that game more limited to that one of GTA 5 online, but the actual service for like actual ways to make money. Like cuz they really wanted you to pay for gold, which is like one of the currencies in the game. So you had the actual in-game currency of cash, like the actual cash of like old day like Appalachian and all that stuff. And then you had gold bars. They wanted you to spend money on gold bars to get some more of the premium content for like special skins for your horses, special rocks for your guns, things like that. However, they allowed you to actually do missions and kill certain things and do certain side stuff to get gold bars as well. So depending on like story mission you did, you got like a percentage gold bar. People found a way to just basically do this. It wasn't so much of an exploit as they were just kind of playing the game and rinsing and repeating the story missions and all this stuff. You got less gold bars, but you actively were enjoying. You were still getting gold bars if you just grinded out the story missions and the side missions, which would garner you more and more gold bars. So people found a way to like repeatedly beat the story missions faster and faster and faster without basically needing to do anything. And then Rockstar was like, "Oh, we can't have that," so they lowered the amount of gold bars you would receive every mission you completed. And then someone like me, who really enjoyed the hunting and fishing aspect of the game, I didn't give two fucks about the gold bars because every like items I wanted, I could pay with in-game money, or I could transfer the in-game money for gold bars. So I would just hunt the biggest game and the most like profitable gain, like the certain animals or like had like a higher rare quality, and I would sell that, and I would get a lot of money for it. Well, Rockstar didn't like that, so they changed the amount of actual money you could gain from those pelts. Same thing for the amount of money you would get for depending on the size of fish you caught. They kept doing that until eventually people got so upset that what fun was it if I couldn't be rewarded for the action I was doing? Why was I putting all this time and effort into doing a side mission if the reward was going to be shit? But yeah. So, okay, you're muted. Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, going forward, that's how that was, right? Let me get rid of some of these. So we have the standard and ultimate edition. We can see the content that was cut and get passed over and everything. Now, people,
Yeah, all sorts of scummy shit.
yeah.
You get it.
So that wasn't everything, right? So we later had. Let me just see if I had this right. Pre-orders renewing. No, actually,
Normally, I'm not usually into the modern gaming, but GTA is like the
GTA. Oh, here's where I had it. Okay, this is where it was. I could actually show you like break down everything. So this kind of like everything. So for the actual, what is this one? The standard. Oh yeah, this is the ultimate edition. What you get. So you get a '95 Goodyear Cheetah, which is a vehicle. You get a Hawk and Little Morgan revolvers, personalized weapon variants, Vice City styles, Jason Safe House vehicles, Gran Turismo retro build, the Ride Out custom mob shop. That's where you actually go to customize your vehicles. Sarah's Unisex Salon, Central Squallow, Stock 305 clothing store. Again, you get a bunch of things for cosmetics and for cars and everything like that. However, this is now like not available to you unless you pay the $20. Like you get like 1/5 of what's here in the actual standard edition. And again, all this is shown in the map as you drive around and be like, oh, you can't touch this unless you pay the $20.
So it's basically the Vice City version. Like, you know how in Vice City, when you start the game, you can't access the other part of the
But
island because you have to unlock certain items and shit like that.
yeah,
Or
but see again,
yeah,
in
so
Vice City you couldn't.
but in GTA, this is like the GTA 6 version with of that. But instead of like literally beating the level, you have to fucking pay like a fucking
Yeah,
paywall.
the difference is, this is it's really funny. I'm gonna show this very quick. There's a VG Cats comic. Do you know what VG Cats is?
I don't think so.
It's an old comic series that like is about gaming and stuff with cats as like the main mascots.
Okay, I mean you're a millennial, so I have no clue.
Let's see if I can't find it. The specific comment. I don't remember what the fuck the actual name of the episode. I'll have to look it up later and share it that way. It's fine. But yeah, so literally, so we had that, and then we had the next bit of controversy happen where it was basically said that there was going to be no physical copy of the game. So you were going to be getting digital code.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, you were going to be getting you're going to be getting digital codes inside the case for the game.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, but don't worry, because apparently the actual creator came out. The actual like CEO was like, so Rockstar responds to the GTA 6 physical disc backlash. So Rockstar has responded to the backlash over GTA 6 physical edition having no disc in the box. The publisher has hinted that the physical version of the game will be released at a later date. The Gaming Insider also claims the GTA 6 disc version is coming in December after launch. So it's coming later, they're stating here, right? This article came out June 25th, and that's whenever we came to know, like, the idea of that happening.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'd rather just get a physical disc.
No, I 100%.
why?
I want physical media, especially.
I
And
don't, I don't, people, I don't, I feel like people just should be excited because at the end, it's not gonna be fucking physical. It's
well,
not gonna be like what happened with the launch of GTA 5 13 years ago.
well, again, like so one of the main arguments for why digital is always going to be better than physical is because you can get the actual the content quicker. You don't have to wait in line, you don't have to pre-order anything, you don't even have to leave your house. You can just go in, pre-order the game here or buy it day of, download it that day, like walk out the room and like let it download and then boom, the game's installed on your console, right? So that's one of the benefits, the convenience of it. As soon as something becomes convenient for a
Yeah, but
person,
here's the problem. Here's the problem, but for me at least, the fucking storage space.
trust me, we're gonna get into that. So, but anyways, so they came out and
And
they,
also,
you
we
know,
don't exactly own.
no, again, trust me, we're gonna get into that. I know what you're gonna be bringing up, but trust me. So they came in and they quelled the silence. They're like, guys, don't worry. Yes, there won't be a physical copy initially, but we promise you there will be. And people are like, okay, you know what? Fine, we can deal with that, right? Grand Theft Auto 6 going digital only in car crash physical media. So
What the fuck kind of headline is that?
I don't know, but essentially what happened was it came out and revealed that he lied. Let me see if I can't find it. Uh, here it goes. So from Pride Nation, bad news. A new report says Rockstar currently has no plans to release GTA 6 on disc. Oh, this by the way, this information came out like literally a day after he said there will be physical. According to a source familiar with Rockstar's plans, recent rumors about the disc version came out for people misunderstanding the internal information. The source said the rumors were based on a hopeful interpretation, not actual plans. The report explains that the Rockstar mentioned that the physical copy it referred to already announced a boxed version, that those include download code instead of the disc. It also says comments about the following months refer to the time after the week's announcement, not months after the game's release.
Bullshit.
No, 100% bullshit. So if you actually click on the article, what he gives, because this is where the actual.
I'm sorry, but we gotta have to start raging at Rockstar for this
Well,
shit.
people are already
Bro,
raging, and it's not doing anything.
no, but we need to start making up to a point where Rockstar needs to fucking just do it.
Well, one that requires the Rockstar fanboys, the GTA fanboys, to actually have a spine and allow them to actually not only listen to the criticism but take it to heart and then understand that this hurts the entire industry going forward. But again, we're going to be getting into the quote unquote fans of the game. Trust me, we're getting there. But anyways, so this is what.
I urge Rockstar to do it. I'm sorry.
Well, I urge Rockstar to do it. That don't mean they're gonna do it.
It is completely unacceptable.
Hun, you have to realize not just Rockstar, but multiple studios want to go digital only because they want to get rid of third party sellers. They don't like third party sellers. They hate the fact that third party sellers buy units of their games and then sell it at the pricing. Sell it at the pricing that's the market price, and then people are able to come back and just sell the game back to them for a price that, and they don't get a chunk of that. They don't get a chunk of change of that. The moment they sell those units to those stores, it's the store's property now. They have no say in what's happened to it. Studios ever since like the 2015s 2016s have wanted to get rid of third party sellers. They hate that. Why do you think digital codes and digital only like games have been more prevalent lately, especially with Nintendo? They don't want you to just be like, hey buddy, do you want to borrow my game? Yeah, I would like to borrow your game of so and so. Here, oh thank you, I'll play this and I'll give it back to you. No, now they're like, no, you want that game, you got to buy your own version, bitch. That's what they want. They want you to spend the money on a new copy of the game. They hate the fact that people, again, why do you think Netflix got rid of theirs like shared screen stuff? Same thing with Crunchyroll and all the rest of them. They don't like the fact that you're able to find slight loopholes, and I say loopholes in a generous way, around their services, so this way you can actually make it so this way the value is less for them but more for you.
bullshit on that.
I call bullshit on it too, but what do you want from me? That's what's been happening. Like, look how much we've been pushing digital sales in many places. Like, sure, we've had a small boom in the retro gaming side of things and retro like designs. Like, people have been buying retro, like, people have been buying record players again. That market has actually come back. People have been wanting to buy CDs again and 8 tracks. Those markets have been returning. But how long is that actually going to last? I don't think for that long because again, those are all really cool right now because it's like the hip trend to do. But ultimately, again, the moment you
Well, not
introduce,
exactly because people are too overwhelmed by the newer stuff.
they are, but for the moment, again, the moment you introduce a convenient replacement for someone, they are more
Well,
willing.
people don't want convenient things.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
Well, it's like convenience where it's up to a point where it's too overwhelming.
It can be. It can be. But again, hun, how many actual digital copies are sold on like Steam? Like again, Steam is a great example of that. Now, Steam is a fair system. I love Steam. But like all their stuff is digital. There is but again, I'm not trying to bash Steam, but all this stuff is digital. As soon as Steam actually began to actually showcase like, become bigger, people started noticing, oh, I can get this game like really, really cheaper here because of the Steam sales and everything over on my actual console, waiting for the purchase it from like GameStop or something. Like again, as soon as something becomes again, look at even like for a while AI. Why was AI blowing up to the way it was? Well, because it was convenient to make some art with it. It was convenient to use it to like solve a math problem for you. It was convenient to do this. As soon as conveniency is added into the mixture of anything, people are more willing to actually do that. Instead, let me ask you: if you could sit there on your computer desk rather than walk up your desk and go take a shit right now. If the poop will just instantly be transmitted into the toilet and then flush, why would you ever move from your seat again to go use the bathroom?
Because it's already directly connected to the septic tank.
Exactly. Again, so the moment you introduce something convenient to the person is like I would say 8 times out of 10 more willing to take that over anything. Now, of course, the person has to have principles and like value and integrity, and most of the time there are people. We're gonna get into like something else later that I actually found pretty nice.
But here's the thing. I don't think it's going anytime soon.
I don't think it's going anytime soon too, but they're wanting it to. They want to.
No,
They're
but like I'm
trying
saying for
to.
like people who are getting into old things or getting old things.
Again, I feel like that is really nice right
It's because
now.
people. It's because people are just too overwhelmed by newer stuff.
Yes,
You
I
know.
think I think people hate the fact that all these new modern games, these new modern movies, these new modern products cost way too much. Yet they look at
And
older
also they all
stuff
look the same.
and not just looking all the same, but like literally like there is no value that they can put onto it and say, yes, this is totally worth the actual price that you're asking for. No, they'd rather go with something they're familiar with and understand, hey, I'd rather just pick up this old
But some
copy
of
of
these people didn't even grow up with it, but they rather just be enthusiastic about it. You know.
because they probably had an adult or someone in their family that actually showed them that at one point in time. Like again, like my nieces and nephews, when they used to come over to my place all the time, they'd had the chance to either play my Xbox, my PlayStation, or play my retro console system that had like the original DK and stuff on there. And 9 times out of 10, they'd rather play the old Super Nintendo I had rather than play any of my newer games because it was much more interesting to them. They really wanted to re-experience what I had from my childhood, and I found that amazing. So yeah, I would argue like there is sometimes the amazing like gameplay and graphics of the newer age, but sometimes people would prefer just going back to the old stuff because it's a lot easier and it's also like more interesting to them at the time, anyways. I can't. I'm drawing up purely by personal experience. Like this would
But to
this
be
is.
honest,
Mhm.
like I said, there's a reason why I've seen a lot of arcades in my area.
Yeah, no. When you told me that, I was surprised. I don't have many arcades in my area. Most of the actual old arcades that I used to have around here shut down. The only place I can go to
Yes,
actually play any
but
arcade.
like a lot of the arcades in my area are like in the style of the 1980s,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
early
there's
1990s.
like I think there's 2 arcades where I live, and they're all really far from me, so I can't even go to enjoy them unless I want to
And
make a
then that,
trip out of it.
and they're just redemption games, and they're like the classics, like
Yes and no. One is of course Dave and Buster's. They have some old arcade games there, but they're mostly the newer
not
ones.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like most of their games are
Like
on
I'm
the.
talking about like
1980s and early 1990s.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like the only arcade I know about is like at least like 2 cities over from me, and so I'd have to make an entire day for that. But anyways, so in the actual article, they state if Netflix killed physical media, Rockstar just ran over its carcass. On Wednesday, the Red Dead Redemption and Bully publisher revealed that Grand Theft Auto 6, the most anticipated video game in, well, probably ever, will only be available in digital download. In addition to the entirely digital delivery option, the Take-Two Interactive owner imprinted did advise the coming physical version of GTA 6, but that was not a convenient use of language. The physical version of Grand Theft Auto 6 will merely be a downloaded code packaged with the physical video game case. So people took his words, and again, he chose these words specifically because he knew what was going to happen. He's not an idiot. He's just an asshole. He knew people were going to take that as like, oh, okay, cool. No, he's done this before. Again, he's lied 3 times about there being a physical copy. He promised months ago that there was going to be a physical copy of the game. He promised a year ago there was going to be physical copies of the game. And people kept taking him at his word and be like, okay, we believe you, man. And then what happens? We're getting close to the release day of the game, and we are just finding out, nope, that he meant a digital code. That's what his wording meant. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's a sneaky asshole. I get you. Even right here, they say the physical video game case is something of a loophole to attract collectors.
Oh.
Do you know what this makes me think of? Do you know who DSP is?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, so Darkside Phil. So do you know what Darkside Phil used to do? This is how he used to interact with his fans. So he used to do giveaways, and what he used to do was he would take a game, like let's say for instance he had an original box of Okami, right? Let's say he had that. Yeah. What he would do is he would do a giveaway, and whoever won the giveaway would win it. The problem was he had already sold the game that's inside the box, so you just win the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. Like, look. I like just looking at DSP just to make fun of his ass.
No, he's an asshole, dude. Like he is someone who is so.
No shit, he is.
That man would sell his own mother for a bit of extra change on the side.
There's a reason why he's a locale.
Well, there are multiple reasons why he's a locale, but still, like I've never. Okay, maybe there is on Twitch. I don't know, but it's been a long, hard while since I've seen someone actually masturbate on stream. That man rubbed one out on stream and was like, and he played it off. He played it off.
But good thing the camera wasn't like directed towards his genitals and only his face.
I'm pretty sure he would have been banned. I'm pretty sure the only reason why he wasn't banned outright was because you couldn't see anything. So some people see it. Some people actually thought that it was played up for the cameras, that he didn't actually do it. Some people make that argument, and I'm like, no. You know what's even weirder? I'm not the one that noticed this. Someone else did, and
it may not have been captured on the private part. But we all know exactly what he's doing.
No, but hun, think about this for a quick moment, right? I didn't notice this when I first saw that clip.
I was love it when he just started realizing, like, oh, the camera's on.
The camera's on, been on the whole time. I didn't even know. Hello. But no, hun, I didn't think about this. So, from the point of where DSP came and the point where he noticed the camera was on was like 2 seconds, right? Where did he shoot his load? Where did he shoot his load?
Who knows?
Did he just shoot it into the carpet and then was he about to play a game? That dirty motherfucker didn't wash his hands. He was about to play some game on stream with nasty cum hands.
Yeah, that shit sounds like a Reddit gooder.
But just think about that. You don't know what he did. He just did it, and it was like, oh, the camera's been on this whole time. I had no idea. I'm like,
it's just hard for me to imagine that he has a girlfriend.
No, he doesn't just have a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend, broke up with her, and then he got a wife.
Yeah.
There are some women who found this man attractive. This man is built like a bowling pin.
This dude is like, in his mid 40s.
This man is built like a bowling pin. Have you so there's this one clip of like DSP like where he gets like one of his donations asking, "Hey Phil, can I see your feet?" And he does this like weird roly poly thing of like trying to like lift his foot up to the actual camera. And so he's like wobbling up and back of like a rocking chair, and like lifts his foot up, and he's barely able to lift it up.
It's funny how Pippa asked DSP to collab with him, and then somebody in DSP's chat said, "Are you gonna?" And he read it and said, "Are you gonna collab with Pippa?" He's like, "No, I'm not collabing with her."
Well, okay, DSP doesn't collab with anyone. To be fair, he is like a pure loner streamer now. He doesn't trust people because he feels like as though they're just gonna try to use him for clout.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, he was on Southern Craig.
He was, which was really surprising, and I think the only reason why he was is because he still sees Stuttering Craig as the Stuttering Craig from Screw Attack, not from side scrollers.
Yeah.
Because remember, the only other person I know of that's gotten an interview with DSP is Jeremy from the Quartering.
Yeah. Man, Corey fell off so hard.
Yeah, he did. Anyways, so going back to the actual GTA 6. So this is, of course, something that people got immediately pissed off about. Well, not everyone got pissed off about this. So I'm about to show you a couple of streamers who, I shit you not, are like, and again, these are streamers. These aren't actual like people. And I say this because like I don't respect any of them, specifically one. But look at this shit. So we got these first chuckleheads right here.
For GTA is not too. It's not unexpected. Stop bitching about GTA, bro. It's everything. Yeah. I'm so annoyed with people like, oh, my video games. Shut up, you fucking loser. It's everything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's everything. And that's my point. Is I'm just tired from people who cherry pick video games about of all things. Motherfucker, chicken's too expensive, goddammit. Water's too expensive. Everything is too expensive.
I think the reason for that is
So before I let this dumbass talk, what did you just think about what that man just said?
Literally just a bunch of nonsense. I haven't.
100% just a bunch of garbage. It literally, this man is like saying like, "Oh, guys, what about food? That's overpriced." I'm like, yeah, people bitch about that too and want that shit to go down too, but that ain't happening.
You know what's funny? That got me thinking of when somebody was like talking to the CEO and chairman of Arizona. Is like, why don't you raise the prices? He's like, we're successful. People can't pay their rent. That's why the Arizona drinks are like 99 cents, and they're gonna continue to be 99 cents.
Yeah, but like they're literally, and again, I'm gonna go into this with another streamer, but I truly believe some people just don't understand marketing and economics at all. Again, I went to college specifically for business, and business by every means is not that hard to comprehend when you actually break it down. It's all a numbers game, but this guy specifically is like saying like, "Oh, I'm so tired of people bitching about the pricing for GTA 6. Like, who the fuck cares? Chicken is overpriced right now." I'm like, bro, we can do two different things. We can bitch about chicken being overpriced, and we can bitch about Grand Theft Auto being overpriced. But the difference is, I'm still willing to pay the extra dollar for chicken versus the extra $30 to fucking $40 for GTA.
Yeah.
people have
Because it's fucking nerds online.
Oh my god, fuck off, dude. You're some fucking chubby bass afro sitting in a chair talking about video games. Don't act as though you're this like cool guy, dude.
Because in the end of the day, you're a nerd too.
But again, people like to toss that shit around to like basically say like, yeah, I know I'm a nerd, but they're a bigger nerd because they're bitching about a video game. I'm like, dude, really?
It's always these fucking arguments.
Is
They
that
don't do anything but buy video games. So no, they're not priced out of games. If there's one game that you can't play, I'll cry a river. Like legit.
what if
Go
you can
play
play
something
WoW?
else.
Why?
Crying
No.
river?
Seriously, tell me why. Actually, give me a reason why they should just like say, "Oh well, fuck. I guess I can't play this new GTA game because I'm priced out of it. I might as well go fuck off and play something else." Why is it that they are not allowed to complain about a game they were looking forward to, that now they can no longer probably play because they can't either spend the extra luxury fee of the extra $30 to $40 of a game when it used to be around 60. Why is that so hard to comprehend?
Or pay $100 to have like no purpose on it whatsoever.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's saying, like, oh no, you can't play GTA. Go play something else. I'm like, okay, but what if they were only look? What if one of the games they were looking forward to the most was GTA, and now they can't play it because it's too much and they can't spend the extra cash? And again, I know people will say like, well, they can just save up. I'm like, you're right. They can just save up. The problem is, you didn't need to back in the day to this degree. I didn't need to like save up to this degree for these video games 10 like 15 years ago. Everything was priced fairly that I could actually operate within that. And again, people were going to talk about inflation. I'm like, inflation, yes, happened, but the market doesn't change it so dramatically, or the fact that like the actual games. Again, that's the whole point of digital being a thing. Digital was created so this way inflation, because people used to use inflation as a coping mechanism for physical games. People used to make the argument, oh, well, it takes so much money to actually like get the disc and do this and transfer blah 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 blah, and that's why I'm like, okay, well, that's why digital games were created, right? So this way it would offset the price, and people are like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so then why is it now digital games are at the same price as physical used to be, but now you're not even giving out physical? Explain that one to me. Why is it now more expensive for a digital copy than it used to be for a physical one? It don't make no sense. And that's why I tell them that it wasn't about physical or digital then at that point. It was just about the game.
And only the game.
And again, people keep eating this slop up, saying again, why are you defending this company pricing people out of a game? Why are you defending this shit so much?
You have years to save $80.
Pause. For fuck's sake, $70 or $80 is just too much.
And again, he's saying like, well, you had years to save up for it. I'm like, for one, bitch, we didn't know what the price was at. Most people were assuming this game was going to be around $70 to $60 initially. All right. And again, doesn't matter about if I could have saved up for a game. Why is the game priced at? He's literally avoiding the question. Why is the game being priced at $80? Forget for a second, right? The idea of pricing someone out. Forget for a second that these people could have saved up for this game.
It's like you pay for something that you usually pay. Like, for instance, my storage used to cost 115. It wasn't until like fucking last month they changed the price from 115 to 130, and I didn't even get notified on that.
Yeah, I mean, again, my biggest complaint with this, right, is he's making an argument, or he's not even making an argument, he's just fucking complaining like an idiot. But he's basically stating, why are you so upset for them pricing this game so highly? You could choose another game. That's one point he made. Another point, why are you so upset this game being priced at this end? Why didn't you save ahead of time? That's another point he made. And the last point he made is, why are you guys bitching about these games? You can just buy a different game. You don't need to get this game. So those are the three main points he's made.
That honestly feels like a contradiction for him.
It is, but here's where I'm going with this. It's the idea. I'm like, okay, so you've made these points. They have no actual tangible. There's no real tangible connection for them. So I'm just gonna ask you this: why are you defending the idea of the game being allowed to be priced at that price? What is your argument for why it should be priced at $80?
Justification.
Exactly. Like, you're talking about how the fact you should have saved up this money. You should just go buy another game. Or you should just fuck off and not buy the game in general. I'm like, okay, but why? Why? What is it about specifically GTA? And my only thought process is, because this is a cut clip, is like he was saying, GTA is everything. Implying that GTA is one of the largest games out there. It's one of the more popular and more anticipated games. So it's fine to be justified to put it at $80. And I'm like,
Yeah, I find it to be bullshit because
I do too.
Here's the thing. You know what bothers me every time I go to a flea market looking for retro games, and then when I see people like selling like Mario games on the N64, GameCube, or Super Nintendo, they would always price them high because apparently they say I priced it that high because Mario is the more popular. And that's why it has to be expensive. I'm like, shut up. I just wanted to tell these people, just shut up.
That's not an argument I'd be using. It doesn't matter that Mario is popular. You should be pricing at that time because the market is, one, that specific cartridge. There probably isn't too many copies of it.
But here's the thing. there's like millions of these things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, depending on the actual game, there could be multitude of copies, or there could be a limited amount, or it could be like this is in high demand right now. Like, the market fluctuates depending on what the actual, like, let's say for instance you have an item.
But you're at a flea market.
Again, I would have to. I can make a few arguments why it would be priced that high. I can make a few arguments why it shouldn't be priced so high.
You're at a thrift store at a flea market. You know, the purpose of flea market is to get things cheaper. Not to
Yes,
pay
that
full
that
price.
was the original intent, especially with a thrift store, but that's kind of changed over the years. Now it seems most flea markets are typically used as hubs for more items you can probably get. That's a lot, not as like uh
That's retail price.
no, not a retail. The word I'm looking for is basically like to get products that aren't more exotic, I guess, for lack of a better word, exotic or less available to the actual average person.
Or
Like,
like selling like shitty 3D printed junk.
well, that I can't really speak to that. But
Because
anyways,
I see that shit a lot,
so kind of finish
and
up
it
this.
bothers me.
So kind
And
of
it
finish up.
bothers me that, you know what I'm saying? And it bothers me that I see these things at fucking convention. I'm like, dude, why do you even allow these people to be selling this stuff? Because this is just garbage. There's no
Again,
really
like
good purpose.
as people who are defending this game have been saying, well, people are gonna buy it anyways. So
Yeah, but that's not exactly a good argument.
I never said it was. I said this is what people like him are saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. Again, I'm using these idiots' argument. I'm not actually saying this is my thought. This is nowhere near my thought process.
If we have known that this game is coming out, okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Maybe this is me being whatever, but I know Nick Pollum at 16 could have saved $80 to buy this. I know Nick Pollum at 20, living on my own, paying for my own rent without my parents' help, working at Famous Dave's, could have saved $80.
Congratulations, you're an adult human person who was able to fucking get the priority state. That's not the argument. The argument is why is it priced so high? Stop trying to justify it being priced so high by saying like, well, why didn't you just save up money for it? God, I could have, and I was like nearly homeless or whatever the fuck.
That is such a ridiculous argument. Let's be honest. It is such a ridiculous argument.
But again, it's because he's not actually engaging with an argument. He's just saying you could do X thing, you could have done this thing, you could have do that thing, and I'm like, cool. Why is it priced at $80 to $100? Can you give me an actual reason why?
A millennial or a Gen Z?
I don't fucking know what the hell this guy is.
Over 4 years.
I don't even know who this guy is. The guy's name is Nepal and Soda Poppin. I don't know who the fuck they are. But again,
Yeah, the self-made millennial.
so these aren't the only idiots who talked about this. Behold, the biggest idiot.
Oh fuck no, QVC.
Okay, wait. Okay, so I'm actually not gonna talk for this one. I want you to listen to really intently, and I want you to tell me what the fuck he says.
The game was $30, people would complain that if the game was sold at a lower price, they would actually underhype their own game, and we would say, dude, they're probably selling it way lower on the market price because it's a low quality product, and they would actually kill their own hype if they put it really cheap. You know it for a fact. You know, and it's funny that you'll deny it. If they underprice their games, they would kill their own hype. Absolutely. Are you
What?
Okay, so it took me to watch him like 5 times to know what he's saying. So what XQC is stating.
What kind of fucking statement is that?
So his argument. Yeah.
People have been hyping this shit for a fucking decade.
No. His argument is right. This is his argument. XQC's argument is literally, why would they lower the price of the game to be around $30? That doesn't make any sense. Because if you lower the actual product of the game down to $30 or $40, that tells people that this product is low quality, and it would die down the hype of the game, thus not meaning people would be willing to purchase it.
Yeah.
That is his retarded argument. Here's the immediate counter to that argument. Silk Song. How Silk Song was priced at, I believe it was, what was it, $20 or $30, right? Let me double check before. I'm pretty sure it
I
was
think so.
Silk Song price $20. $20. So Silk Song was priced at $20, right? That game for so long, for years, the hype never died down. It just went dormant. So anytime there was a bit of information, some leaks, some info, or some teasers on some on like a showcase or something, people went ballistic. People were excited for this game since literally the announcement of the DLC of the original Hollow Knight. People never lost their hype for the game. And when the game finally was not only given a release date, but was coming out within a matter of like weeks after the release date was announced, and then the price of the release date was, do you know what happened? Silk Song, Silk Song completely broke every eShop. Switch went down, Steam went down, Xbox went down, Sony Marketplace went down. All of them went down the same day because the amount of like downloads that game got.
It had so much of a hype.
It had so much of a hype. And again, it was $20. Why would you assume Grand Theft Auto being priced at something low would be considered low quality if it's made by a company many people like usually suck the dick of for its quality? This man makes no sense. This is why I tell people do not listen to what the fuck XQC says. He will lead you down a fucking hole of nothing but like stumbles and mutters and retardation.
Exactly.
But again, he is not the only dumbass who decided to defend Grand Theft Auto 5 or Grand Theft Auto 6. Behold the last dumbass I have.
Actually different. I'm sure the game is gonna be
Who
great,
is?
I have no idea.
but the game is $100 with locked content that was free in previous titles.
He also looks
They
like a
also
BLM activist.
Okay, well, hear what he says, right? So this is a super chat he just got.
different. I'm sure the game is gonna be great, but the game is $100 with locked content that was free in previous titles. They also laid off a bunch of their employees.
Okay, so the literally the super chat just said, right? So the game, he's assuming the game, maybe the game will be great, cool, but the game is over $100, and they locked a bunch of content where previous titles didn't do that. Not to mention they have laid off a lot of people in the actual like development of this game, right? So that's a fair question. How does this dumbass respond?
Of their employees.
Bro, then don't buy the game.
They deserve to be scrutinized.
Then don't buy the game. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing the game when it comes out. When it drops, I'm playing it. I don't give a fuck.
That sounds like a straight non-answer.
It is a non-answer. He's just basically like, the guy asked him simple, point blank. Okay, the game's gonna be pricey. I don't care if the game is. Let's say the game is good, but the game is gonna be very pricey. The game has already laid off people who previously worked on the game, and the original creators are not actually working on this game. So don't you think the game should be deserved to be scrutinized even a little? His response is, "Fuck you! I don't give a fuck. I'm buying the game regardless, and I'm playing it." I'm like, awesome, awesome. That's so good, dude. I'm so glad you exist as a content creator.
Bitch, I'm buying the highest price I can buy.
Good for you! That didn't answer what he said!
Yeah.
I'm not accusing you of being a bad person.
My
I'm
bad.
just saying Rockstar deserves criticism and people shouldn't be cried into oblivion.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. This is the thing, though. I don't give
Again, simple things like, I think Rockstar deserves some criticism for this. His response, I don't give a fuck! It doesn't get better from this. This is just how he reacts.
a fuck. I don't know how many ways I have to say this. I don't give a fuck.
Damn, bro. He definitely looks like he's definitely easily offended by this.
Oh, 100%. He's annoyed that his own chat, and again, his own chat are basically like, dude, like, this isn't the take you should be having. Like, why don't you engage with what people are saying? And he's like, I don't give a fuck! I'm like, cool, I don't care that you don't give a fuck. I care the fact that why don't you actually talk about what your own chat is asking you, what your own chat is trying to tell you. And again, Your first response with your chat shouldn't be "I don't give a fuck." I'm like, okay, so what is the point of watching you then? Like, what is the point of actually engaging with your content if you're not willing to engage with the actual criticism?
This is not a good look for your audience.
But, you know, people are gonna eat it up because again, like, you've heard what's happened recently with the scalpers, right? Okay, so I'm guessing that laugh means yes, you've heard what happened.
Yes.
So literally, scalpers have been purchasing up, of course, the actual games for pre-orders, and are now going on places like eBay and selling those pre-orders to people at like $130, and people are
Of
actually
course.
paying for it.
Why? It's all if it's additional. Why?
Exactly. Exactly. Do you know what one of the old arguments why people used to pay for scalped games was because there was a limited amount of physical copies with the ultimate editions for games or limited editions because of course there was. They would only make so many
I
action.
remember when the PS5 came out, there was so much scalping, and it took like a few years until I see a PS5 on 4K.
Exactly, because it was physical. This is a digital copy. Means there's so many units sold. And again, this is still for the pre-orders. And people are using the same logic to purchases, like, well, I better get it from the scalper because then there won't be any left. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean there won't be any left? It's a digital code.
Exactly.
Again, these are the people Rockstar are really hope. It's like when you have a drug dealer or like an actual person who runs a casino. They're not looking for the average person to get addicted.
Releasing it on PC.
No, it's not even coming to PC yet. Apparently, it's coming to PC later, but there's no actual like time frame. So they just said,
Well, who knows about that? Because they're gonna make the same stupid ass argument of releasing physical. We don't know if we're gonna release physical.
well, no, they're not. They're not. It's basically all but confirmed at this point that they're not releasing a physical copy. And even then, if it does come to PC, it's gonna be just like Steam. And you know for a fact, the moment the modders get involved with the actual like community of GTA 6, Rockstar's gonna find some way to shut that shit down because they hate people having fun. How many actual modding communities got like fucking banned and like had their shit?
Rockstar to make physical copies of GTA 6.
They're not gonna do it, hun. Hun, they're not gonna do it.
But still, we need physical.
I agree with you. I think physical would be really good. They're not gonna do it. They have no plans for it. They don't care. Literally, we literally right here.
Rockstar has been always scummy for the past decade.
Hun. You want physical?
A fuck! I don't give a fuck!
That's Rockstar. That's Rockstar.
I know what you were trying to do for that.
Exactly. Like that's Rockstar right there. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, no. And again, here's some of the cope. Like literally, look this motherfucker right here. GTA 6 is the cheapest title in the series with adjusted inflation. So this man is like got really upset that people were like comparing the actual like complaining about the pricing. So he decided to actually use some quick math. GTA 3, 2001, $50, $94.29. Vice City, 2002, $50, $92.94 with inflation. Same with San Andreas, $50, $87.99, and then you keep going until you get to the $80 price of the 6. And he's trying to justify, saying like, yeah, look at the price from back then to now. It's this game is actually cheaper if you count inflation. I'm like, motherfucker, that is not the argument you should be having. You just pointed out your own flawed logic. GTA 3 on its release was $50 fucking dollars. And then you saw the actual price increase by 10 every new iteration. There you go. From San Andreas was the last one at $50. Like games used to be $50, dude.
Or 60.
But that's what I'm saying. And now he's like, yeah, but this one's 80. It's the same thing. I'm like, that's not the same thing. Stop trying to do this fucking bullshit. Stop trying to do this bullshit. It's like, oh, but it makes the same price difference, doesn't it?
It's gonna be the repeated cycle of 80 to fucking what, like 100 now.
But again, this is what the level of like cope these people have to do. Like right here, even Permaban goes into this person right here who's like, okay, good riddance. The sooner we adapt to digital is better for us all. Because it's how about the actual physical copies. I hope all your digital games get erased once every. And again, this guy makes a great argument. Is you have to remember, digital copies can be erased. The moment someone like Sony decides, and recently like Sony even like decided, hey, we're actually gonna stop carrying on a lot of these digital like services on our eShop, which makes it so this way, if you own this digital copy on your system, it's not gonna be able to be used. It's gonna tell you, I'm sorry, this product is not available at this moment. That's what they keep doing. And again, Sony's the biggest like fucking person to do this right now, but Xbox can do it at any point in time. Again, I've told this story before. I bought Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the video game, years ago when it first came out. I had so much fun playing that game. But because of like the company going under, the service for the game like got shut down. And so I couldn't actually play the game anymore because the server shut down. Fine, whatever. It's sad it happened. When the game got a remastered version, immediately people were asked, "Oh, if I used to own the actual original copy, since this new remastered one, can I get an upgrade to it?" They're like, "No. Fuck you. You got to pay for the new remastered version." And it's the exact same game, just with slightly better graphics.
Or updated things.
And what's even worse, Xbox didn't get access to it. Only Sony did.
Ugh.
Yeah. So like this guy's talking about that, and this guy goes like, "Oh no, what if my disc gets scratched? Keep making these headcanon scenarios." These are the people defending the idea of like only digital copies. Yeah, right here, look right here. PlayStation removes access to 500 plus movies users already purchased. At any point in time, they can just come by and say, "Fuck you, we're turning it off." Basically, in a nutshell, we're just buying a yes. In a nutshell, we're not buying an actual. We don't become the owner of these games anymore. We're just essentially leasing. They're just leasing out the copies. We are just essentially renting them for a long period of time until they decide, you know what, we don't want to have this service anymore. You're done. That's the whole point of Stop Killing Games.
Yeah, remember when there was PlayStation Now?
Yeah. How many games have we lost the time because out of nowhere, like either a company went under or the actual like service, like the subscription.
PlayStation Now and PlayStation Video.
Like, do you know all those old games for the Kinect?
Yes.
They don't work anymore. A good majority of them work.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, it's not a major loss to begin with because.
but still, hun, yeah, it's not a major loss because most of the games sucked. But the idea that you can create this product, you can purchase it, you're with your own money. They can tell you you're the owner of this product now. But then at any random point in time, they could be like, you know what? Fuck you, we're taking it back.
Very scummy tactic.
And again, here you go, another person like GTA Ultimate Edition. Meanwhile, and then they showcase the Game of the Year edition of fucking Far Cry 6. One asshole, this is the Game of the Year edition, which means they come with all the DLC the game already previously came with. Two asshole, again, this is an older game that's being released in a premium edition. This does not equate to the same thing.
Yeah.
But again, this is what the actual people have to do to make an argument to even stand any waters. So this is gonna hold their head above water and be like, yeah, I can justify me paying like $100, $80 for GTA 6. I'm like, that's awesome, dude. I'm so glad you're gonna have so much fun with this game. That doesn't take away the fact that people are not happy with this. People do not like the fact that this is probably going to set a precedent for future games because you already see companies from like Ubisoft, from like Bethesda, from fucking all the big AAA titles be like, hey, so if people are willing to pay this much for GTA 6, then they're probably willing enough to pay for our crappy ass games. I'm like, no, I barely want to pay your games at like fucking half price. What makes you think I want to pay full price for that shit?
Yeah, because here's the thing: if you announce and release a game that looks really shit, and if its source sells poorly, then that argument is not good for you to justify.
Right, but to them, the counter argument would that be like, oh, what if it does sell great?
No, and it's always has to be feedback from the people.
Well, I know, but again, that's what I'm saying. Like again, like my thing, and I'm not trying to be a dick when I say this. I feel like GTA 6 is heading into dark waters. And I don't just mean that for the pricing or for the shit that Rockstar is doing. I'm saying I don't have faith that the actual writing is going to be there. Because people, I feel like, still believe that the actual same people who wrote GTA 5, GTA San Andreas, Vice City, and all the rest of them are still on the team. The original creators left. They're no longer part. The original six, like,
Especially Laszlo.
but that's what I'm saying. Laszlo's gone. All the rest of them are
You used to see Laszlo on every GTA game.
exactly, but he's no longer there. None of them are. They all left. And again, all you have to look at is compare compare the new DLC for GTA 5 for their story missions to past iterations. Those story missions are some of the cringiest shit I've ever seen, dude.
Oh my god.
It is horrendous, and this is what I can expect to happen in the new game. Like, it is ridiculous how like the actual dip in quality and actual writing has happened, and people still think no, it's gonna be fine. I'm like, no.
Wait, isn't GTA 6 gonna add a pointless feature where there's gonna be a pride parade?
Well, it's not a pointless. Well, it's you say feature. It's just gonna. Well, yes, it's technically a feature if it's an event, and yes, there is gonna be a pride parade. Rumor has it the fact that you can still fuck with the pride parade, like you can like walk up and shoot a bazooka at it. I don't know. Personally, I think it's stupid. Like why even have that added in the first place? It's not needed. I guess it's for them to actually give the ward a bit more like I guess life.
The message.
Well, no, well, yeah, you got the message from Critical Drinker, but I mean, like, literally, it's to make the world feel lived in, you know. But I would argue,
GTA the series is supposed to be greedy.
well, that's the thing, right? That's another reason why people are afraid that this game is literally gonna be bad in terms of story, because GTA has always been kind of a parody and satiring real life in elements in very creative ways, just like how the Boondocks used to. And GTA 5 was the greatest example of this, taking it up a level. And now people are like, wait, now, but here's the problem: GTA is becoming a lot like essentially the parody is no longer becoming parody, and it's real life. Meaning, people have a fear that GTA 6 thinks it's parodying something, when in actuality, it's just actually what the story is going to be.
It's going into a similar direction as Saints Row.
Oh, fucking it. What such a disappointment, dude. I love the first two Saints Rows. I wasn't the biggest fan of 3 or 4, but I was like, you know what? I'll give this new one a shot. Maybe they can rekindle a fire in me from the original Saints Row. No. Holy fuck, what an awful game. I don't think I've had a worst experience with a video game in my life since that point.
Yep.
Because even with a bad game, I can find a way to have fun and enjoy myself in, like, humoristic ways. That game was just terrible.
Yep. And the writing was just written by a bunch of activists.
But yeah, God. I'm just gonna kind of leave it off with this. And it's kind of like the idea of, like, I have no reason to get GTA 6. I'm not buying it. I'm just not. I have no reason to buy it. I'm not spending $80 to $100 on a fucking game that I don't believe the story is gonna be any like worthwhile enjoyment. I'm not gonna spend that much money on a game that has cut content that I need to purchase the actual upgrade version of the game to get access to. I'm not buying a game that literally like the online version isn't even coming out with the game. It's gonna be purely a story based game initially, and especially I'm not buying a game that I feel like the actual company doesn't give two fucks about me. They just see me as a fucking wallet to pay for them.
And then they're not gonna release a physical.
Exactly, and there's gonna be no physical copy, which at any point in time, like let's say for intents and purposes, GTA 6 sucks. It bombs, right? Let's say the story is just complete ass. At any point in time, then Rockstar was like, "Well, if you don't want the game, we're gonna just cancel it. No more GTA 6, and they take it off the market."
I doubt it's gonna sell poorly because
Again, no. Well, here's the thing, right? I have full faith that the game is gonna fucking sell out like gangbusters in its initial week. That's why I tell people never look at the first week of something being like don't look at the first premiere of a movie. Don't look at the first.
It's like a shitty movie performs really well at the box office.
Again, Last of Us 2 sold really well initially, and then people actually started to play the game and watch streamers play the game, and the fucking sales for that game plummeted. GameStop couldn't give it away. They literally were like, bro.
I love calling Last of Us 2 LGBT the game.
Oh my god. But yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like literally like the game bombed. And that's not the first time. Like look at High Guard. That was a free to play game. Initially, that game had a lot of downloads, and people were actually like some people were kind of excited to play it. Within a week or so, the game was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna be shutting down soon."
Oh yeah, can't forget Concord.
But that's what I'm saying, right? That it's possible that a game can bomb. I don't. I'm pretty sure Rockstar is still gonna like fucking like make billions of dollars initially with GTA 6 because everyone's excited for this game. Everyone's ready to play this game. Everyone wants to play this game. But what's gonna happen is I'm going to wait that first week and see after people have actually completed the story what people's actual perception is now.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling this is just me being like my schizo brain. I have a feeling this game might be pretty controversial when it comes to the actual debate of whether or not the story is going to be good or not.
What do you think of the story from what's being said as of now?
I don't. It looks like it's following like a traditional blend of like how GTA is, like person that like kind of has like a rough around the edges
It's
gets
gonna be like a Bonnie and Clyde style protagonist.
again, that's not a bad idea. It's just again, it really depends on which direction they want to go with it. If they're gonna allow you kind of like a Franklin situation from GTA 5, if you're gonna allow to like kind of like choose the pathing, because again, Franklin was like you could choose to play each. They're like missions with each character, but Franklin was like the main focus of who you're playing through. He was the person your main periphery was focused on, and you were kind of observing the war through his eyes, following the kind of trend of following which Tyler like Trevor and them. In this game, I feel like it's gonna be the same thing. You're probably gonna be mostly like playing through the female's eyes up until certain points where she's gonna have choices to make in the game and decide a lot of people's fates. Now, the big question is how well is that gonna like correlate with the actual like male
Yeah,
character.
because because sometimes because it may or may not be if you look into like a feminist kind of thing, like how they did with Supergirl or
I don't know.
Captain
I
Marvel.
don't know. I don't know exactly. I'm basing my perception of the story potentially off of the DLCs that have recently come out from GTA 5's online mode. And that shit is incredibly cringy when it comes to the dialogue and the jokes. The missions themselves aren't horrible, but the dialogue and fucking jokes and personalities of these characters are just subpar. It is nowhere near the quality we've had for GTA games. So that's where I'm
It's
like,
like Dustborn quality.
I wouldn't say Dustborn quality, but it's really cringy. It is 100% really cringy. That's what I'm afraid of. Like that the again, I don't think this game is gonna sell bad. I think what people are gonna have is they're gonna feel underwhelmed after playing and beating the story mode. That's what I feel like. But see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the story mode sucks because you know for a fact, much like Call of Duty, people are gonna look at well, the online's gonna be good, right? People don't buy Call of Duty anymore for the story. People buy Call of Duty for the online matchmaking.
Exactly.
GTA is gonna be no different. Even if the story is hot garbage,
Yeah, like I remember people used to fucking gush. Oh, people of my age used to gush over Black Ops 2. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. People still gush over that shit, but that's what I'm saying. Like literally, despite even the story sucks for GTA 6, people were like, "Well, we could just wait for the online come out, and we're gonna play the shit out of that." And then that's where Rockstar's gonna make more money because they've already shown that they're putting more microtransactions into the game. So much so that there's actually rumored, and I don't think there's a clear source. I think there's a source for it, but I don't think it's been revealed that apparently this game's gonna have way more microtransactions than GTA 5.
yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. But I'm gonna kind of end things off there. I'm getting tired. It's 10 now. I wish we could go longer, but I have not had great sleep, and I'm pretty tired. Plus, I'm pretty sure Bruto's gonna be busy soon too. So,
No, I'm not busy. I'm already done.
oh, okay, nice.
Just
But anyways, but I am gonna end things there. I will try to cover the Steam Machine and Bungie soon, guys, because that's a topic I really want to go over to. So might talk about it this Thursday and or Friday, depends. But like I said, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I love you all so much.
yeah,
Brute.
may not be there on Friday, both Friday or Thursday.
Hello, XQC. I didn't know you joined my call. What the fuck? You just like mush mouthed all over there. Yeah.
Bird.
Anyways, so is there anything you want to end off with?
No, it just I did everything that I need to do, so good thing I joined in on time.
Yeah. Sorry we were late again. Both of us were working and stuff, but I thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversations. We'll be having more stuff like this soon enough. Anyways, love y'all. And as always, no matter where you guys in the world, no matter what you guys are doing, I hope you guys have a good morning, a great afternoon, a beautiful evening, and a blessed night. Stay safe, everybody. Love y'all.
I'm on a hatch.
Way to hell. Bam, bam,
Conga.
ding.